Yes, that's right. Sitting on the dock of the tide, roll away. This is going to be a mighty fine day. Put your frowns away and smell that bouquet. Smells good. Bounce around like in ballet, like in Broadway or in far Bombay. Everything is okay, not like it's D-Day. So don't delay, stay, don't walk away, feeling risque. Let's have a party. Look shocked and array while we have a soiree. Who cares if it happens? So it's only Monday. Honey's looking fly, Gabbana and Dolce. There's a honey over there. How you doing, honey? Hey, we beat Stoke today. 3-0. Get in there, my son. How's it going, everyone? Just sort of do a little rap introduction for you there, you know, just one of my old little rhymes there, you know. How's it going? We've just beaten Stoke City 3-0 at Old Trafford in the Premier League. Get in there, my son. Have some of that, Paul Lambert. Even though he's not even in the job until tomorrow, you mug. Third on the list by all accounts. Anyway, we battered Stoke City tonight. A great result from us. Good performance from us as well. I mean, Stoke City, to be fair, first half, they were actually in the game. They caused us some problems. They got in behind a couple of times. They had a couple of really good chances. But Manchester United just too strong, too classy in the end. We made it count with a couple of really nice finishes in the first half. Let's just kick it off by saying Antonio Valencia, what a freaking legend, potential future captain permanently for United. The guy just bosses it every time he's captain. And tonight, you know, what a finish that was as well on his left foot. And when have you ever seen Antonio Valencia do that on his left foot? You know, never. It was a fantastic game, fantastic goal. And Antonio Valencia, great performance from him today. Stunning finish. What a legend. Gives us that 1-0 lead. And then Anthony Martial pops up not very much long later with another amazing goal. Very similar, in fact, just sort of on the other side to Antonio Valencia's. Another curled, placed, absolutely awesome finish from the frickin' Frenchman. What a finish that was from Anthony Martial. Makes it 2-0. And Lukaku in the second half, you have to say, is a nice goal, nice control, got that bit of space, back of the net. You know, so in terms of the goals we scored tonight, the quality of them, you can't deny the impact that they had on the game, how important they were, and just the quality of the goals. Absolutely stunning from Manchester United. Generally a good performance against a shitty Stoke side. You know, let's be honest now, Stoke City not the best team in the league. In fact, they're one of the worst. They're right down there at the bottom of the table. They've got Paul Lambert coming in. That'll make them feel good. But they were all singing his praises actually in the stands. Fair play to them supporting the new manager. But I mean, he's got a tough old job there, doesn't he? But he could come in and have a positive effect. Who knows? But generally thought they were bang average, and Manchester United just that little bit classier in terms of putting things in the back of the net. Let's talk about Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba in the centre of the park today. Matic, the holding midfielder, Pogba sort of creative, and guess what he did create today? He was quality today, Paul Pogba, industrious, working his socks off, having a very good outlet and a final product, and of course he had a hand in the first 2 goals for Manchester United. Great performance all round from Paul Pogba today. Something that we've, as United fans, been wanting to see for a while. He does look lacklustre sometimes. I mean, I'm surprised, actually. They said during the game that in terms of assists this season in the Premier League, that Paul Pogba is right up there with 9 Premier League assists, joint first. I can't believe that. Fair play to the lad. That's awesome. He's got a couple of them tonight, of course. But I couldn't believe that because I think although he is quality on his day, he's just not been consistent enough this season for United. But apparently he has. Apparently he has with those statistics. Fair play to him, you know. Great to see. We want to see more of that, Paul. We want to see you pulling the strings. We want to see you feeding your teammates. You know, we've got that beast Lukaku up front. He's not been getting the service. Feed the beast and he will score, you know. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully Lukaku's turned this corner for Manchester United. Now, look at his overall goal tally. I think it's something like 17 goals. In all competitions since he's been here. That's not bad, is it? I mean, he actually scored 11 in 10 at the start of his Manchester United career, which, of course, was a brilliant start. He couldn't keep that going. Nobody could, really, unless your name's Hazard Kane. And he's had a bit of a lull. He didn't score very many in the last, you know, in the 15 games that surpassed that. But he has started scoring again recently. He has been scoring in Europe. You know, hopefully he can just get back into that goal-scoring run of form now. But generally, if you're looking over the season now, just at the statistics, he's not doing terrible, is he? He's doing okay. So I hope that he continues to do so. Everybody who's tuned in right now on the channel, thank you so much for getting involved. Do me a favour, smash a like on this live video and give it a share on social media if you're that way inclined. Alex Rincon in the house. Thank you very much, Alex, for the support here with a little super chat action from stateside, and he sent me $5 freaking there, pal. Thank you very much. He says Pogba is the best centre mid in the Premier League. Based on today's performance, you have to say he's right up there. And if you're looking at the statistics, like I said a moment ago, he's right up there also. So it's hard to argue with that. I mean, he just sometimes doesn't look that good. I know that's funny to say, but sometimes he just doesn't shine out there. He has very average games. He can go missing in games. But generally, yeah, I think you're right. He's right up there with the very best midfielders in the league. Based on tonight's performance, it's a world-class, all-round good, industrious performance from Paul Pogba with 2 assists. Absolute fantastic from Paul Pogba tonight. So get in there. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah. So basically, they've got a new manager now, don't they? Paul Lambert's coming in. And basically, he's just a little forward little melter, isn't he? You know, he's going to have a very tough time there. Stoke City got rid of Mark Hughes, ex-United man. Maybe warranted, you know, I think they just decided to make the change and hope that they can turn their fortunes around between now and the end of the season. But he's like the 3rd choice on the list. It was very piss poor planning from Stoke City in terms of what they were planning on doing. You know, if they're not going to get somebody in immediately after getting rid of Mark Hughes, then why the fuck would they just not keep him for a little bit longer until they have got something set up officially, until they have to go and settle for that 3rd-rate role, their 3rd choice, Paul Lambert? You know, it doesn't really make sense from there. But anyway, who really gives a shit about Stoke City? It's all about Manchester United and the 3-0 victory tonight. 3 points gained. You know, there's some big fixtures and results these last couple of days. Look at the game yesterday. Insane game between Liverpool and Man City. Liverpool coming out on top 4-3 in that game. Who saw that one coming? Seriously, you know? Actually, a lot of people did. Because Liverpool actually play with that attacking flair, that verve. They don't really fear teams. They don't really care if they concede. And oh boy, they do concede, but they go for teams. They go at teams. They press high, they press fast, and they press hard. And they, you know, they can bully teams in that final third. And they got so much joy in that game against Man City yesterday. They were 4-1 up at one point. They almost managed to melt it Scouse style, though, and concede a couple of goals near the end of the game there to give them the old brown trousers coming into the final stretch. But they hung on there. Huge result, that is. Ends Man City's run. And hopefully, you never know. It could just give us what we need in order to catch City to between now and the end of the season and win that freaking Premier League. No, obviously, I'm just kidding around. They are so far ahead. They are a quality team. Liverpool, on their best day, made it very, very difficult for them. And anything can happen on these days. And Jurgen Klopp's teams, they are very attacking. They go for it. And that's not what a lot of teams have done recently in the Premier League against City. I think that's why City have had so much joy. People respect them too much. We certainly did. We just said, fucking hell, what are we going to do? Have the ball, lads, and play in front of us. And when they do, they rip you open. Liverpool, on the other hand, got right at them from the off. And before you know it, they are a few goals ahead. Gungshi in the house. Hello, Gungshi. All the way from Taiwan, he says, and Sanchez hasn't even started playing yet. Get in there, my son. I'll get onto that in a moment, Gungshi. You absolute legend. He's dropped another super chat on the channel here, supporting the Flying Pig United channel. Thank you so much, Gungshi, for your continued support and always getting involved in these match reactions. So thanks very much for that. Alex Rincon says, Gungshi and myself deserve a pig shirt. I'll tell you what, when we can get a decent design made up, I'll get you a pig shirt sent over. That's no doubt about it, lads. I think you guys have paid for it anyway. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I've absolutely had a mare here. Wait a second. Sorry about that. I just clicked off YouTube somehow on my phone there. Yeah, so we gained a few points on City there. You know, that's good. It's a progressive weekend, or Monday night football it is for us, actually, between Arsenal having mares and Man City losing. You know, Manchester United have gained some ground in the Premier League this weekend, so that's been brilliant for us. 3 lovely goals, great all-round team performance. As I say, Paul Pogba, probably my man of the match. I thought he was absolutely stunning today. And also Juan Mata put in a really good performance as well. You know, very hard working from him, very technical, and just an all-round good, solid performance from Juan. You know, Juan is such a frigging legend, isn't he? Such a nice little bloke, and he just consistently does it for United. You know, he might not get 9s out of 10s every week, but he is a consistent player, and that's what we need at United. We need quality players who can do it consistently. You know, it's all well and good for Paul Pogba to come in and put in a performance like that tonight. Well, that's what we expect from you every single week, Paul. So you better get used to playing like that, otherwise it's just going to get pretty annoying, quite frankly, if you keep having, you know, stop-start performances week in, week out. So sort it out. But yeah, great performance from him tonight. What else happened that I wanted to talk about in the footballing world? Oh yeah, Ryan Giggs, ex-Manchester United player, of course, legend, the best player to come from Manchester United, in my opinion, really. Mr. Manchester United himself. It's only gone and got himself a job managing Wales, hasn't he? No Premier League team were willing to give him a chance and give him the opportunity as first-hand management, which I think is a bit of a crying shame, really. They do that in other countries, you know, a la Zidane, a la Pep Guardiola, you know, these types of guys. So you've got to give these players opportunities if they've been at the very top level. I mean, let's just take a look at his CV. He's been managed by Alex Ferguson for all those years. You know, he was Louis van Gaal's right-hand man, the less said about that, the better. But in terms of his pedigree as a player and his intelligence as a player, that is not in question. He is one of the best players to ever come out of the UK, 100%. And the archetypal winger back in the 90s, and then clever enough to adapt his game later on as he was aging and sort of play that more playmaker, central deep line, almost midfield role. So Giggsy, very clever player. You know, you might have not thought that so much because of his sort of headless chicken characteristics going down that wing, taking people on, you know, jinking runs, all this sort of stuff. But very, very intelligent player, passer of the ball, all that sort of thing as well. So I think he's got something about him tactically that he can bring to the side. Wales, of course, you know, didn't qualify for the World Cup. They're having a bit of a mare. He's got the job now to get them qualified for the European Championships in a couple of years' time. Do I think he can do that? I do think he can do that. You know, he's got Gareth Bale there. He's got Aaron Ramsey. These are top quality players. If he can get the best out of them, he can relate to those players. Often, sometimes people say, well, these top quality players don't do well in management later on because, you know, they can't really relate to the players who are not as good as them. Well, he has got a few really good players there. Wales' team in general is to a good standard. Look at the last major competition, the European Championships. They got to the semis. They outdid England. They played lovely football. Gareth Bale, match winner. You know, if you've got a player like Gareth Bale on your side, you've always got a chance. And I think Ryan Giggs used to be that player for Wales. Obviously, Bale did it on the bigger stage to a higher degree. But Giggs used to be that player for Wales. So I think he can get the best out of him. I think he can get the best out of those players. He obviously doesn't have to do it every single day because it's just sort of like a national coach job. So I think it's the perfect job for Giggs. He's going to get his teeth stuck into. And then maybe, you know, he can go and do a Chris Coleman and manage Sunderland after that. I don't know, but hopefully it's this route into proper management now. It's good to see an absolute legend of the footballing world back in the game. You know, we want to see people like that back in the game, getting the managers' jobs at big clubs. And maybe one day, who knows, he will go on and be Manchester United manager. Who knows? Yeah, let's get on to the old elephant in the room, which is Alexis Sanchez coming to Manchester United. It's looking likely, isn't it? I mean, Chelsea apparently have come in with a late bid, which I find disgraceful, quite frankly. Who would go ahead and do such a thing like that? Of course, United looking like we were going to hijack the deal from Manchester City, who have apparently now withdrawn their interest in him altogether, which is a little bit surprising. I think they were lowballing City with a £20 million offer. It's like, hang on, why would you pay so little money for such a quality player? You know, Arsenal are not going to want to sell him between now and the end of the season for peanuts. You know, if it's either worth then keeping a player who's not going to be 100% for them, to be fair, and let him go on a free in the summer, or get, you know, 30, 40, maybe even more £1 million off of these teams that are all bidding for him, because he is one of the best players in the league, one of the best players in the world, a quality player, no doubt about it. Top quality. Alexis Sanchez would walk into any top four side in any league in the world. So that's the sort of player we're dealing with here. Why wouldn't all these hosts of top clubs want him at their clubs? You know, the likes of Man City, who have now pulled out of it. I guess maybe they've just got a golfing class at Man City and they don't really need a player like Alexis Sanchez right now because of the quality that they've got. But surely you always want a player like Alexis Sanchez. It's not like money is an issue at Manchester City, so that's a strange one. Apparently, these mugs Chelsea have come in for a late bid. Hopefully, the deal is wrapped up and he is coming to Manchester United, because think about it. The players we've got now, you know, the likes of Martial, I think, is really coming into his own. Give him 1 or 2 more seasons, he will be one of the best players in the world. He's got every single bit of skill in his locker that a player might hope to have, and he just seems to be getting that consistency into his game now. You know, he's always had the talent. He always puts in world-class performances here and there, but getting the consistency into his game more often now. So I think he's got the potential to be one of the best players in the world. If we add a player like Alexis Sanchez to that, then, you know, think about those sort of wing players. It's going to be unreal. Feeding that beast up top, remember Lukaku, who, when he is in goal-scoring form, is an absolute machine. So don't forget that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's quite frightening if we did manage to get Sanchez, and it would allow us to compete a little more with the likes of City in terms of quality throughout the squad. Obviously, we've got a long way to go. Got to sign another couple of quality world-class players at some point, but certainly Alexis Sanchez would fit that mould. He'd bring that to the side. But then we thought that about Henrik Mkhitaryan, didn't we? And we all know what happened to Henrik Mkhitaryan, don't we? He was an absolute bottle job and he melted. So, you know, he started his United career well, amazing over in Germany, come over here. And, you know, it's been bitterly disappointing, hasn't it? Bitterly disappointing since, I don't know, about a year ago. Some good performances here and there, but especially lately just looks like he's an absolute bottle job. So yeah, ship him off over to Arsenal like an old horse, you know what I mean? He's gone lame and can no longer pull the cart to an acceptable standard. You've got to send him off to the glue factory that is Arsenal Football Club. Basically the retirement home for Manchester United second-rate players. Oh, you're right there, Danny Welbs. How you doing, pal? My name's Henrik Pricatarian. And here we're going to rot together. That's basically how I see it. And we'll take the best players like we did Robin Van Persie. Van Persie, of course, instrumental in that season or two that we had, and for quality player. This is similar because Alexis Sanchez is their best player, just like he was back then. He's a huge player in the Premier League. Nobody's doubting the impact that he can have straight away. He knows the league. We know he knows the league. We know Alexis Sanchez. He's a quality player, a player that United fans all around the world have coveted for a very long time because he does do the business for Arsenal. And Arsenal are not as good a team as Manchester United. We've got better players, better quality throughout. So to add him into our side, I think that's going to do wonders for his career. But also it's going to really give United that extra quality that we so desperately need. Joshua Takacs in the house. He says Wenger has lost it. I think you might be right. He's almost just mugging himself off now, isn't he, by staying in the job there? It's getting a little bit embarrassing. They are turning from that just staple top four side. I mean, how many? I think it's a record, isn't it? How many times? 16 seasons in a row or something that Arsenal qualified for the Champions League. Well, it's looking very unlikely that they're going to qualify for the Champions League this year unless they go on to win the Europa League final. But we all know they're just bottlers in tournaments. So whether or not they can do that, I mean, that remains to be seen. But yeah, I mean, they're having a really tough time at the moment. I think maybe a change is what they need. But then listen, if you're an Arsenal fan, do you really want Wenger to go? These people saying get rid of Wenger. But hang on, what if you get rid of Wenger and you get even shitter, which is a possibility for Arsenal? They bring in another manager, I don't know, maybe Sam Allardyce or something. It just whoever, it doesn't go right, you know. That could easily happen. Maybe the grass isn't always green on the other side for these Arsenal fans, but personally, I think Wenger, he's coming to the end of his managerial career. But personally, I think we should sack Mourinho and give the job to Arsene Wenger. Obviously not. Paul Lucas, I wish Valencia would go for goal more often. I know what you mean, Paul. It's some amazing goals he scored. Whenever he scores, actually, when he just goes, fuck it, I'm just going to have a pop. They seem to just rifle into the back of the net. He's got such a great, deadly shot on him from distance. And you are right, I'd love to see more from Antonio Valencia in terms of just going for a goal a bit more. But then, obviously, his role in Manchester United's team is to be that sort of flying wing back, that overlapping right-hand sided player who's going to get down to the byline and just whip a deadly ball in. That's ideally what you want from him. But yes, certainly if he gets in the position, he should 100% have a pop because he's got it in his locker to just bang it in the back of the net, like he did tonight with that stunning first goal for Manchester United. What a ridiculous goal that was. Absolutely picture book. Yeah, I'm just going to read a couple of your guys' comments now then. I think I've pretty much covered the game and some of the topics that I wanted to talk about with you guys. But yeah, it's looking like we're going to get Alexis Sanchez United, have some of that Arsenal. Not happy bunnies, are they? Even if they get Henrik Mkhitaryan, you know, in exchange, which is looking like it might happen. Would he want to go to Arsenal from Manchester United? He's not getting any love from Jose. He's not getting any love from Manchester United right now. So it does make sense for him maybe to look elsewhere. And it's not happening for him. It's such a shame because we paid a reasonable amount. And we were expecting that he was going to be a big player for us. He was fantastic over in Dortmund, the amount of assists he had and goals he had. Very impressive stats. But just hasn't been able to replicate that form that he showed consistently over there in the Premier League. At least not for Manchester United. Maybe he can go and do it at Arsenal. But personally, between the choice of the two players, you know, if we're playing Football Manager right now, I'm giving Henrik Mkhitaryan 3.5 stars out of 5, and I'm giving Alexis Sanchez, 4.5/5 stars out of 5. Those are the sort of quality of the players that we're looking at. So it makes sense to ship one player out, ship another player in, save a little bit on wages. The transfer fee, I don't know what it's going to be, 35 million, 40 million, maybe there's Mkhitaryan involved as well. Either way, just get the deal done. He's a quality player. We need quality players at Manchester United. He fits the bill. Just get him the fuck in there, Jose and Woodward. Do you know what I mean? Become the Teapot. How's it going? He says, does Alexis want to go to Man U? Because if he doesn't, he can still go to City. Well, I don't know what's happened there. I think City have pulled out. They're just not prepared to match Arsenal's transfer fees for them. Maybe they would be more interested in getting another player in exchange like Henrik Mkhitaryan. We all know Arsenal were actually interested in him before Manchester United signed him. So maybe they just want to get a player of Henrik Mkhitaryan's caliber in there. You know, it's another body. I mean, realistically, who are Arsenal going to sign this window if they get rid of their best player, Alexis Sanchez? They're not going to get another quality. It's not that they're going to sign Eden Hazard to replace him, is it? No, they're going to get some average player who may or may not succeed in the Premier League. It could be a bit of a gamble. They could get Lemar. You know, there's a lot of talk about them getting Lima or Lemar, whatever his name is. And yes, that could work out, but it also could not. He could take time to adapt. Anything could happen. So it's a risk for Arsenal to not do that. Whereas they could get Henrik Mkhitaryan, who's not really done it for United, but the change in his career, the drop down in level, just may be the kick up the arse that he needs in order to get his career back on track. And he's got a lot to prove. If Manchester United say, "Oh, you shit, mate, we don't want you. We're shipping you off to Arsenal. We're swapping you for one of their players because you're just not doing it for us. You're shit," basically. Then he's got something to prove over there. And yes, it is a drop down in level from a Champions League side like Manchester United to a Europa League side like Arsenal. Right, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Oh, yeah, Phil Neville's got to maybe get a job in management as well. Yeah, managing the women's team, the women's England team. What the hell did that come from? Phil Neville potentially in line to be the women's England national football team manager. Fair play to him, you know. I don't think there'll be any sort of sexual harassment, you know, cases going on there, you know, because he seems like quite a sort of meek fellow, does Phil Neville, you know. I think he'd be pretty respectful. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there, but thank you very much for tuning in. You're a bunch of legends. Thanks very much, everybody who tunes in after these matches to get my thoughts and reviews on it. Not been very well recently, sort of why I've got the old Rocky, the Rocky dressing gown on, just trying to make myself feel a bit better. Not been too well. Alk Mamet asks, where's Henry? I don't know. I think he's still in his cave right now, mate. He's in his cave. I don't know. I haven't seen Henry for a while, but no, he should be coming around Wednesday night for the Pigcast, the Pig and the Hen Show, Wednesday night, every Wednesday, around about 8:30 p.m. UK time. So we'll be doing another podcast, as we always do, every single Wednesday from now on. We'll try to fit others in here and there. But Wednesdays are when you're going to see the Pig and the Hen Show, and then, of course, it will be on iTunes very shortly after that. So come back Wednesday night at 8:30. I'll try and do as many videos as I possibly can here and there. Thanks for the love on the last video of me just mocking Arsenal's defeat to Bournemouth there. Get in there, Eddie Howe. And Bournemouth, what a stunning result that was. It really was a good weekend for us. You know, think about it. Of course, Tottenham won, you know, Liverpool won. But other than that, it's like City had mares. Arsenal had mares. You know, it's some really good results for us this weekend, so I think we can be very happy with what's gone on and the performance we've put in as well. It's good for the confidence, good to just keep this momentum going. We've got to build up some momentum now as well, because last couple of months we have dropped a bit of ground, but we've gained a bit back there. We need to keep doing that. You know, it's ridiculously unlikely that we could challenge for the Premier League title, but we've got to keep acting like we can and at least finish second and at least challenge City, at least just take them to the end, you know, because it is looking ever increasingly likely that they're going to win the league. Alk Mamet comments, best Rocky film. Oh, I love the Rocky franchise. Obviously, I wouldn't just be wearing this for no reason, would I? Like some mag. But best Rocky film, that is a question. That is Alk. I'm going to say it's got to be... It's a tough one, you know. Rocky 1 is just absolutely immense, isn't it? It's more emotional. It's a slower sort of drama. You know, I love Rocky 1. Rocky 2 to me is ultimate, though. It's just like the ultimate training scene. Rocky 3 with freaking Clubber Lang, Mr. T, Hulk Hogan and stuff. You know, it's totally different, but it's awesome in a different kind of way. And then Rocky 4 with Ivan Drago, you know, training in that montage running up and down the mountains. He's doing it natural. Ivan Drago's in the gym shooting steroids, doing it unnatural. It's just freaking awesome. You know, so you're asking me to choose between, like, my babies here, mate. One thing's for sure, Rocky 5, absolute shit. Wasn't it, Rocky 5? What the fuck were you thinking, Sly? You had a mare there, pal. Oh, Kyle Fury, my moderator in the house, he says, I never watched a Rocky film. You're missing out there, pal. Seriously, if you've never watched a Rocky film, then quite frankly, how old are you? You know, you're about 14 or something there, Kyle? Because if you've never, even then, I'd be disgusted that you've never seen a Rocky film. After this, I appreciate you moderating these comments, by the way, but after this, sort your life out, go and watch Rocky 1, then Rocky 2, maybe even just start with Rocky 4, actually, you know, because Rocky 1's a little bit slow. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. Let's just conclude with the fact that Manchester United beat Stoke City 3-0 tonight in a really good performance. 3 lovely goals from United. Great performance from Paul Pogba. Good performance in general from the team all round. Clean sheet. 3 lovely goals. Get in there, my son. City freaking lost. Have some of that, even though it's the Scousers that dealt out the loss to them. And also Arsenal had Mez this weekend, so all in all, a quality freaking weekend. Get in there, my son. Have some of that. I'll see you very soon on Flying Pig United. Make sure you do come back on the channel Wednesday night around about 8:30 UK time to catch the Pig and the Hen show with me and Henry Hotspur discussing all the footballing topics. Hopefully by then I will be able to say that Alexis Sanchez has joined Manchester United and he is a freaking red. Let's hope so. Get your thoughts and opinions in. Please do me a favour. Come back in a couple of minutes when this video has been published to YouTube and get your comments in so they stick around permanently. I'll be able to read them. Others will be able to interact with you. These comments coming through right now, I appreciate you guys getting involved in the comments and interacting with me. You're a bunch of legends. Well, obviously, I can't respond to everybody as much as I'd love to, but if you come back in a few minutes and comment, then I definitely will be able to do that. For now, please do smash a big old like on this video. And also, if you're new around here, make sure you smash that subscribe button to keep up to date with all things Pigs, all things Manchester United and all things football in general. So please do that. Also, you can come and follow me on social media at Mr. Flying Pig HD on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Until next time, have yourself a good one. Come on, United. We've absolutely stoked up Stoke, haven't we? Have some of that, the Gooners and the frickin' noisy neighbours, you bunch of